How was your holiday? What were you up to?
Well, we had a great holiday. You know, Thanksgiving's always a special time of year, as you know, and what we always do is have the entire team over to our house, have a big feast. Mrs. Everett's in town, helps cook and does a tremendous job with that, and had a few parents in town as well, so it was just a great afternoon. Ate a ton, had a good practice, watched some football, and just a really good time.
So we are 10-0 in the state and number 4 in the country. So how do you feel about that?
Well, obviously, we talk about getting better every day, and the rankings in regard to being number 1 in the state are great, and number 4 in the country is big time as well. But all that is really for the fans. You know, we don't talk a lot about that as a team or a program, but I do think it's an honor to be rated or ranked that high, and it obviously shows you're having success. But we know rankings don't mean a whole lot in November and December, so we kind of take it as it is, but it is nice to be acknowledged.
Awesome. Any players that stand out to you right now?
Yeah, you know, we've had a nice mix of both newcomers and returning guys that have really taken turns at standing out and having some good spurts during the early part of this season. You know, you start with Dayton Aubrey, our point guard, who's a returning sophomore. He leads our team in scoring, assists, and rebounding, and steals. So he's doing it all at both ends of the floor for us. Jamil Safadine has been a guy that's really been done a great job of creating offense for himself and others. He does a great job of finding the open man. He had a game where he had 10 assists this year and only 1 turnover in that game. He's gotten better at the defensive end, and he's shooting the ball pretty well from behind the arc. Another guy that I think has been pretty rock solid as a transfer. He's a sophomore, but a very good player is Derek Butler. Derek is a combo guard who's given us a lot of scoring punch, averaging around 15 a game, and again, a guy that can create offense for himself and for others. And then I think a couple newcomers, in particular Gerald Colonel, who leads our team in shot blocks, has done a great job on the defensive end of rim protecting. He's doing a good job of running the floor and getting some offensive rebounding opportunities for himself too. So him, and then another freshman, Zach Bell. Zach is a guard that has done a nice job of impacting our team, has had a couple 15-point-plus games for us this season. So we've had a nice mix, Eric, of both returning guys, some veterans, a transfer or two that have added some things to our team, and 2 freshmen that are really doing well also.
Awesome. How does this year's team compare to last year's team?
Well, I think this year's team compared to both my first 2 years' team is probably a little deeper. You know, we were number 1 in the country both years in defense, which is hard to top that, but I really believe this team can be a better defensive team than we've had the first 2 years, and part of that is the depth. Part of that also is we've got really good length and athleticism all the way from our point guard position through our center position. So we've got a nice mix of athletes and length that usually helps you defensively, and I think that's been the case thus far. Top to bottom, because of our depth, because of a nice mix of returning players and incoming guys that have impacted our program, I think we're right there with the first 2 teams. I don't know if we're quite as tough and rigid yet, but we're only 10 games in, so hopefully that will come. But I do think this team has a chance to reach some of the same goals my first 2 years' team did.
We have 3 upcoming games. Let's talk about those coming up soon.
Yeah, 3 tough games this week. We go to South Georgia Tech, who we beat on our home floor earlier in the season. but they're really, really good on their home floor. They beat Gulf Coast out of our conference on their home floor the first or second week of the season, so that's going to be tough. And then we go over to Tallahassee for a classic where we'll play Henry Ford Community College out of Detroit, Michigan. They're Division II, but they're ranked third in the country in Division II. And then the next night we play Monroe Community College out of New York, who's ranked 8th in the country in Division I. We're 4th, they're 8th, so they're undefeated currently. It's going to be a heck of a week for the Chipola Indians. Hopefully we'll play well.
Awesome. Well, we have so far a great season. We got a lot of competition coming up, and so we look forward to it, Coach, and catch you next time.
Well, I appreciate it, and I hope all our fans had a great holiday. Looking forward to a great holiday Christmas break here, but if you get a chance, we only have one game remaining at home before Christmas. It's the 17th here at home against Enterprise State. We hope you'll come out. Our fans have been great so far this season, and we certainly appreciate you.